So you guys might remember Congressman Duncan Hunter. It's this jackass right here. He's one of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt politician in Washington, D.C. Now, that's a hard thing to get. But he's so bad, he didn't even realize, like, I have to mask this a little bit. I have to do it through official channels. I have to be able to say, no, this is a campaign contribution and not just rank corruption. So bad, he was brought up on charges. So he's a joke. He's massively corrupt. There's not an honest bone in this man's body. Well, now he went on Fox News to talk about the military. And look at what he said. I have a lot to say about this. Watch.
Matt Goldstein is under suspicion for premeditated murder. Eddie Gallagher is in jail in San Diego, a Navy SEAL that is in trouble for killing bad guys the wrong way. What I think we have here is a case of what the U.S. government would call compassionate combat, meaning the U.S. government for the last 5 years under President Bush and crystallized under President Obama has wanted us to kill the bad guys, but in the right way. Meaning they want us to kill guys compassionately and only under the rules of engagement that they say to. And if you kill the bad guys that we actually say are bad guys the wrong way, well, the U.S. government then is going to try you for murder and put you in jail, even if you're a decorated Green Beret, if you're a Navy SEAL, if you're Marine Corps Force Recon. That's where we've fallen here, and I think that's the umbrella that all this falls under. That's why Goldstein is in so much trouble. There's supposed to be a thing now, compassionate combat, which doesn't exist. Either you want us to kill the bad guys or you don't.
All right, so first let's state the obvious. You made that up. Nobody said that. You said that. Compassionate combat. That's something made up by the right, and then they act like it's something the left has been promoting. As if anybody, like, in the circles I run in, which is the left circles, has anybody ever said, I'm for compassionate combat? No, we're for ending the wars, because we shouldn't be in illegal offensive wars. So they just make stuff up and just say, yeah, I don't know, this is what the left believes in. They don't actually, but I said it, so just take my word for it. Oh, okay, we're on Fox News. That sounds good. So he's just making shit up. But notice there how he thinks like a child. He's like, well, them bad guy, me good guy. I get to go after bad guy. Now, the guy that he's defending, let me tell you about this, what happened with this guy. Some U.S. soldiers were attacked. There was an IED that went off. And this guy was convinced, oh, I know who created the bombs. I know who did the bombing. And U.S. soldiers went to that guy and captured him, okay? Then they brought him back to the base. Now, see, this is where civilized people have a process. Okay, you captured a guy who might be guilty of some sort of a crime. There's a process in place. And worst case scenario, okay, we don't have all the pieces in order, all of our ducks in a row in order to go through this process at the moment. Keep him captive until we figure out when we can go through this process. Okay? Because once you capture somebody, they're now a prisoner. Understand? They're no longer an enemy combatant on the field where it would be totally justified if they attacked you to fire back. Okay? So this guy was a prisoner. By the way, was any evidence presented at all that he was actually the bomb maker? No. Which is why we have due process, just so everybody knows. The idea behind due process is the government does not always get it right. In fact, oftentimes they get it wrong. So you need to have due process. You need to have a system set up whereby you ascertain the guilt or innocence of the party that was charged. That's what innocent until proven guilty is. That's the foundation of modern enlightened society. Okay? So, no evidence whatsoever, no evidence presented. This guy's convinced, oh, this is the man who did the bombs. Can I prove it? No, I'm not even going to bother to try. It's just a hunch I have. I think he's guilty. So what does he do? They take him as a prisoner, they drive him out to the desert, and they shoot him in the back of the head and kill him. This is who Duncan Hunter's defending. This is who Fox News is defending. By the way, Fox News covering this endlessly made it so Trump tweeted about it, and he said maybe we'll give him a pardon or we'll commute his sentence. Now, apart from the obvious immorality of this, it's childish in the sense that they actually have that worldview, guys. the worldview of we good, they bad. Okay, but what if the they, people you're lumping in with the they, are not guilty? What about that? Are they still bad? Because they're nominally on the opposite side of you, even though they're not part of any opposing force? This is how they think. Me good, they bad. Like when Blackwater did the massacre in the square in Iraq, and then were found guilty of war crimes. Are we still good in that instance? Are they good? Is that what that is? Well, what do you believe in? Compassionate combat or whatever the fuck he said? I believe in not massacring civilians. Like, as if that's like that's supposed to be controversial. Like, oh, he's against murder. Like, that's supposed to be duh. So, I mean, it's just so gross. And the final point is this. These are the same people who scream about law and order. Think about the irony of that. You can't have that both ways. Either you believe in law and order, in which case you're supposed to say, you have these laws, so here are these things that are not supposed to be violated. And then when they are violated, I am one of the types of people to stand up and say, no, we will not stand for this. We must have justice. When you say I'm a law and order person, that's what that means. But what they really mean is, I'm going to scream law and order. And what I mean is, against minorities, I mean it against people in other countries, I mean it against lefties. I don't mean it against us. And I certainly don't mean it against the U.S. government when they are offensively, illegally invading countries. Rules for thee, not for me. So you got to follow them. I don't have to follow them. I'm going to scream about law and order as I violate international law all the time, violate the U.S. Constitution, violate the Magna Carta. So, but that doesn't count. Because when we do it, it doesn't count. That's how Duncan Hunter thinks. When I do it, it doesn't count. And you could begin to see why he did what he did with corruption, too. Who, me? No, I'm one of the good guys. I mean well. So when I do brazen corruption and spend campaign contributions on like buying my wife a car and shit, it doesn't count as bad because I mean well, and everybody knows I mean well, so I'm above it. So when I don't mean law and order because I violate law all the time, I'm in favor of our military violating the laws. I don't care about the laws, but I say I care about them because that makes me sound like one of the good guys as I act like one of the bad guys, but it's okay, I'm above it, it doesn't apply to me. You're just a dumbass, Duncan. I need you to get that. You're just a dumbass, okay? You're a piece of shit. You're a dumbass. You shouldn't be in this position of power that you're in, and you're a murder apologist. Congratulations.